What's up, y'all? It's Forrest back again. Welcome to my channel, Forrest BTS, and I'm going to be doing a 1,000 mile review on the 2024 Elantra N. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm at 1,058 miles right now. So this video is going to be separated in 4 different parts. I'm going to go over MPG, kind of give you a review and how that's changed. I'm going to go over washing the car. I'm going to go over handling, parking, and the different modes, driving modes. And then I'll also talk about the interior and the display. So first of all, we're going to talk about MPG once again. I talked about it a little bit in my last video, but just wanted to give you all an update. I was at 22 on average, and now I'm about 24 on average, and that, you know, includes everything: city driving, stop and go, and being on the freeway. I've gotten in the 28 to 30 range when I'm on the freeway, so that's been very nice. I've been on eco mode, but you know, I didn't buy this car for the mileage. I got it for the performance, so it's always good to know. And the MPG for this car is great, just overall. Now I want to talk about washing. I mentioned also in my last video, I never really did the self-wash before. I never used that before for any of my cars. I always took it to like an automatic wash or something. If you watch my last video, then I talk about how I just failed at the self-wash the first time. But now I got some great tire and wheel cleaner, and I got some microfiber towels. So I've been to the wash like 2 or 3 times since I got the car. I've gotten very efficient at washing and drying my car now. So I'm glad that I kind of like got into a routine of what I do. And the self-wash that I go to is very good. A lot of times I've noticed that they're out of the tire soap, but I have tire and wheel cleaner, so I take the brush with me and get those tires real shiny, and then get the rims real nice with a couple more towels. So there was a big thunderstorm in Nashville the other day, and it didn't last too long, but it was just raining like crazy, and I had washed my car 2 days prior, and I was like, dang, this is my baby's first rain, you know? So I took it back home, parked it in the garage, see all the water droplets on my car, and I was gonna leave it like that, and I was like, oh, I'll just wash my car again, you know, the next day or the day after. But then I was like, wait a second, like, it's just water. I could go grab the microfiber towels and just wipe down my car again. Now this is like, I'm sure this is common knowledge, but it was new to me. So after the rain, I wiped down my entire car with those microfiber towels. My car was cleaner than it was after I took it to the self-wash, which was perfect. So I was super excited to, like, you know, turn a rainy day into like, oh man, I basically just got a clean car again. So it was in the garage, untouched, dry, no water droplets on the car, and it was even cleaner than before. So very cool that I was able to wipe it down after a rain. And in my experience, people are always saying something about black paint, like, oh, you got to take care of it and it's tough to keep clean and all this kind of stuff. I'm not having that experience with this car. Now I do have to make sure that I dry this very well so I don't get any type of water drops, you know, whether it's after a rain or whether it's after a car wash. But other than that, this is not that hard to maintain and keep clean, and this black just looks great. I love it. The Abyss Black, that's such a cool name. I was looking everywhere for the Performance Blue, and that's obviously the most popular color for this car, but I'm glad that I got the Abyss Black. I'm more low-key, it looks pretty low-key, and it fits my personality, but at the same time, it has that aggressive, clean look. It's just a mean looking car. And I will say just something fun about this color, driving at night is so tight. I told somebody in the comments of the other video, like, I feel like I'm in a movie when I'm driving this car at night. With the sunroof down and all the windows down, like, this thing is so cool to drive at night. So I'll quickly mention the handling of the car. I switch around the modes of the car a lot. I'm pretty much in eco mode, only on the freeway. I'm in normal mode if I'm in neighborhoods or if I'm in stop and go traffic. But I'm in sport mode a lot. I'm in sport mode the majority of the time in like city traffic, regular city streets, and in stop and go sometimes I stay in sport. I get really good mileage that way, and the performance is just nice. It corners so well in sport mode. And then I use N mode a ton. Like, I'm in N mode pretty much anytime the road opens up, and I still haven't messed with the custom settings. I'm gonna make a whole video on that when I get into that, but I'm looking forward to messing around with the custom settings. I got some really good tips in the last video, so appreciate y'all for the comments on that one. So I'm in N mode a lot, and I absolutely love it, but I do think that I'm in sport mode the majority of the time when I'm going around city streets or just, you know, driving to work, because the road doesn't open up as much, especially if there's a little bit of traffic. Even if it's not stop and go, you know, I don't want to be in N mode just going, you know, accelerating fast and then have to stop 200 feet later. But when I take this thing out on night drives, like I said, it's the most fun thing in the world to drive this car at night. I'm usually in N mode because the roads are all open, whether it's the back roads or whether it's on the freeway. It's just so fun to have a clear road and drive in N mode. It sounds so good. It feels amazing. The steering does get a little heavier, but it feels exactly how you want a performance car to feel. You have a lot of control over the car, and everything is just at your fingertips. And I will mention the N shift, the NGS button. I've hit that multiple times, and I've heard some people be like, oh, I can't really tell a difference. One guy's video I was watching, he was like, I was going from 40 to 80 miles per hour, and I think he hit it, and he was like, I couldn't tell a huge difference. I'm gonna tell you, I can tell a big difference, and this is without launch control. Well, I shouldn't say a big difference, I can tell a difference, but this is without launch control. So when I'm doing a 0 to 60 roll and start in N mode, and I hit the N shift, I can notice a difference than if I'm just in N mode by itself, accelerating 0 to 60. So when I hit that N shift, it gives it such a boost. Now, it's not crazy, but it is noticeable for me. So last thing I want to mention about the handling, this is a performance car, and the brakes are just fantastic. The braking in this car just gives me so much confidence. It feels smooth, it feels great. So yeah, the brakes are great. Another thing that I'll mention with the handling, parking in this car is very easy. Now, I'm coming from a 2013 Hyundai Elantra, so I'm used to this size of car. I'm used to parking it, so I have a pretty good handle on it. And for the first 2 weeks of driving this car, I wasn't even using the rear camera. Like, I'm so used to, you know, we didn't always have cameras in cars. I'm so used to just looking behind me and checking it out. I trust myself more than anything. But this rear camera, the way that it moves, they have those yellow lines so you can see exactly where you're going. That has grown on me a huge amount. I love that feature. The rear camera is great, and I'm gonna continue to use that. I still look behind me and turn around, you know, if I'm backing up. That's just a habit, so easy to do. But like I said, parking, when I'm backing into any parking space, that rear camera is clutch. As for the interior of the car, I absolutely love the seats. It's very comfortable driving. I'm 6'1". I noticed that the steering wheel position in this car, it needs to be high enough to not hit my knees, but where I have it that's comfortable, I have to put the back of my seat up so my arms are comfortable on the wheel, and I feel like I have a lot more control that way. So, you know, in the 2013 Elantra, I can sit back and kind of drive regular, relaxed, but this car, it's still comfortable. It's still very comfortable, but I can't be in that like relaxed position that I used to be in. And that's not a problem at all. I love how comfortable this seat is, and I got more than enough room for myself. So I pretty much keep my seat in the same position. I love it. But I sat in the back seat on the driver's side, and my knees are like kind of hitting the seat. Would not be that comfortable for me to sit in the back. It's not the worst. The back seat still feels great. But as far as room, I saw some people who were like, I'm 6'3", like I could fit in the back. The way my driver's seat is, I got long legs, man, so I gotta push it back a good amount. So if there were two of me and I was driving and there was, you know, somebody sitting behind me, it might not be the most comfortable ride, but that's not an issue. Like I said, bought this car for the performance. I'm not gonna be having that many people in the back seat. Luckily, don't have any kids or anything, so that back seat won't get used too much. Now, one thing I will say is the passenger seat, it's not as comfortable as the driver's seat. It's the same seat, I'm pretty sure. There's no difference. The only difference, actually, I just remembered, you can pull the seat up and down on the driver's side, and I hope I'm explaining that in a good way. Like, you got this little pump, so you could pump the seat up. You can move the height of the seat up and down. You can't do that in the passenger seat, which isn't a big deal, but I will say, this little bar, it's not the most comfortable thing. I do not hate it. I actually really like that it's there. You know, if you have somebody in the passenger seat, they're not gonna knock you in the manual or something. This is just a cool feature. It's got a good grip on it. It doesn't bother me. But sitting in the passenger seat, my leg kind of sits up on it. So it's not the most comfortable thing. Long trips, I don't see any problem sitting there at all. But, you know, this is just something that's not, I'm not gonna say like, oh, this is super comfortable. It's just, you know, something to get used to. So for the digital display, I love everything about it. I love that I have navigation. I don't have to use my phone. I don't use the Apple CarPlay because I believe it's wired. I haven't even tried it yet. I'm just on regular Bluetooth. That's what I'm used to. That's what I used for 12 years in the 2013 Elantra, right? So I just have it on Bluetooth. My car sits in the wireless charger. So some people have said that it's hard to charge their phone in that wireless charging station. But I don't have a case on my phone. I might be a weirdo. So since I don't have a case on my phone, The wireless charging station works exactly how it's supposed to. I have no issues with it. Sometimes I have a full battery and I'm not going far, or I just don't need to charge my phone. I can still sit it in the wireless charging station, but I just pull it back a little bit so it doesn't charge. And it still has that grip on the phone to where it doesn't move. And also, since it's underneath everything, it's protected from the sun. So the sun's not shining hard on your phone, making it hot. There's still so many things I haven't messed with yet. The light bar in the interior of the car, you could change the color and stuff. I haven't even done that. I use navigation a lot, and I use the in mode display. I love to see the in mode display. That's just the coolest thing. Besides that, I haven't really used too much on the screen. I have the display on media a lot because I'm playing my playlists. I make a ton of playlists on Spotify and Apple Music. So I'm just playing my playlists in the car usually when I'm not on navigation, and I can go through all of the songs easily. And I love how quick it connects. So the Bluetooth in my 2013 Elantra, feel like it took like maybe a whole minute to connect or something. This one connects within like 10 seconds after turning the car on. So the Bluetooth connection is amazing. So I've heard people talk about like, oh, the sound system's not great. And I guess it's not, but coming from a musician, the 2013 Elantra was enough for me to mix and master songs on the Bluetooth, you know? Just because it was coming out of the car surrounding me, I can figure out things about the sound that I needed to change or something. And I knew the tendencies of it, right? So when I'm mixing and mastering songs, I gotta play that in small speakers, big speakers, computer speakers, cell phone speakers. I tested in a lot of speakers just to make sure that the sound is good all around. So if the 2013 Hyundai Elantra was good enough, you know that this is a huge step up. I believe these are Bose speakers, not luxury, but they get the job done. So with that said, it's just not a big deal. This is a great sound system, sounds awesome. I'm pretty sure that you'll love it unless that you're used to like luxury car audio. It sounds really nice, it's clear. It's just not like the loudest thing. If I didn't need the trunk space, I'd throw a sub in here or something. I used to have 212s on my 2003 Buick Century. That was a time, man. I missed that car too. And also, now I haven't even used cruise control yet, but I do love the lane assist. So that's it for now. Hope you like the 1,000 mile review. I'll be making a lot more videos on here, so stay tuned. Go check out my other channel, Forrest. I do a bunch of covers on my channel, and I got a ton of songs on Spotify, Apple Music. So check out my original projects. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.